You are watching the Virtual Sports Network by Chris W. And before we start today, let's have a look at what's coming up on our associates channels. On Trevor's Sports this week, we've got the UEFA Champions League quarter-finals featuring Bayern Munich against Manchester United and Olympiacos against Chelsea, as the two English sides look to try and make their way to the semi-finals. And on JB Sports, he's got his review of Burnley versus Newcastle, and he has some very strong words to say about the performance. But coming up now is the Konami Legends Trophy, and it's Celtic versus Arsenal.
Hello there, good evening to you. Battle of Britain Part 2 takes place here at Celtic Park, as Arsenal now are the latest English visitors to come up to Glasgow, and they will now play Celtic. Well, we'll look to do what Rangers couldn't do the other night against Burnley, and that's win. But it's going to be a tough test for Celtic, who threw away the lead 3 times in the San Siro last week. And they'll have to do it against an Arsenal side who will be smarting after losing so gamely against Barcelona last week. So the pressure's on both sides, even more so Arsenal to get 3 points here today. Celtic line up with Lenwick Larsson up front, Bobby Lennox and Lois will provide the bullets as well. Jimmy Johnson, watch out for him, and as well Murdoch and Old will be certainly good certs in the middle of midfield. The usual suspects for Arsenal, although Kenny Sampson comes in at left back, and Robin Van Persie surprisingly gets a nod over very, very lacklustre Thierry Henry alongside Dennis Bergkamp. So I think all you viewers at home can distinguish the colours. Celtic in green and white hooves, Arsenal in red and white, and Celtic are the team attacking the goal from right to left in this match. So Battle of Britain Part 2 is underway, and Chris is travelled back from Barcelona to be again with us tonight. And Chris, Battle of Britain Part 2, will we see a much better game than what we saw last night, what we saw 2 nights ago? But let's be fair, Rangers and Burnley gave this game a very tough act to follow. But wait, it's Dennis Bergkamp, and just as I was about to hand over to you, Chris, Dennis Bergkamp out of nowhere has beaten Pat Bonner at the near post and has given Arsenal an...
Well, he has. It's. I was going to say when you brought me in that it was a game that Arsenal need to win, but they've set off in the correct manner by getting an early goal. So it's not a must-win game. It's a must-avoid defeat to give them a chance of going through, but a win would certainly help their chances. And well, they've got off to the perfect start.
The Flying Dutchman gets Arsenal flying here at Celtic Park and silences the partisan Celtic fans. And could we have a double English victory here in Scotland? Well, we've only got about 3 minutes of the game gone, but already plenty of drama in the opening stages. But here's Bergkamp again, McNeil having to stop him, Old now to take it up for Celtic. Oh, that's a foul by Bergkamp, and I think he threw an hand towards one of the Celtic players' face. Now, was it an elbow? Referee's booked Bergkamp, and now he's had a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde sort of first half so far. Oh, I tell you what, Chris, I've seen reds given for that.
It's dangerous stuff from Bergkamp. He's making his presence felt, obviously. Lucky to still be on the pitch, if I'm honest.
Yeah, we didn't go too well with the locals here, I have to say. And I have to agree with you there, because I think that on another day, and a more stricter referee, that would have been a red card. But it's Johnson now for Celtic. Oh, now can hit it. Oh, good save, I think, from David Seaman. Yes, he gets in the fist bumps. And Celtic now responding positively to going a goal down.
Well, Arsenal and Celtic have had some ding-dongs in the past in the Champions League. Let's not forget that Eduardo situation back in the day. When I say back in the day, it was probably about 2011, but it feels a long time ago now. The diving scenario. They have a bit of history, these two teams, in the modern era.
Yes, I tell you what, it's almost as feisty there in the crowd as it is on an Old Firm derby day. Here comes the corner. Chances here for Celtic. Seaman, it's got there just about. Tommy Gemmell was right on top of him as well, and that made it a little bit awkward for the former England goalkeeper. Ljungberg to Van Persie. Bergkamp waiting in the middle. Perhaps very lucky to still be on the pitch and almost striking a second goal. He did everything right. He beat Pat Bonner with the shot, but just wide this time, Chris. And well, Celtic would have been doubly aggrieved if he'd have scored there, considering that he should have been off for a complete and utter elbow.
Well, a lot of controversy. I don't really feel like it's in Dennis Bergkamp's character what he did earlier, but he certainly made himself the villain today. If he scores any more goals, the Celtic fans will certainly be screaming, why was he still on the pitch? But we'll see if that tale has any more twists.
Well, can Celtic raise their game? They're capable, as we saw in Milan last week. They have got the capabilities. They've got good substitutes as well, Nakamura being one of them. Here's Bobby Lennox now trying to reach some magic here for the Hoops and Murdoch. We've got a few of the Lisbon Lions in the 11 again tonight. But Bergkamp now to Van Persie. And Bergkamp will have to motor here if he's going to get into the middle. Van Persie's there as well. Bergkamp's there as well. And the man that arguably should not be on the field has just got his second goal. And it's probably going to incite the Celtic fans even more, because he's celebrating right in front of them. And there's going to be trouble here if we're not careful, because Dennis Bergkamp, who should have been off for a clear elbow, has got his second goal. And Arsenal now have cleared daylight between themselves and Celtic.
Well, I know the Celtic fans were giving him a stick, whether he's certainly treading on the borderlines of getting himself a second yellow with that celebration. It's, well, we have got some controversy on our hands, haven't we? Good finish, mind you. Take nothing away from their finish.
Well, plenty of talking points here in this opening period. We've only been going for about 9 minutes, and I think we've probably got a handful of talking points already. 2 goals from Dennis Bergkamp, a potential red card that should have been but wasn't, for a clear elbow, and then a save from David Seaman as well. It's all happened here in the first 10 minutes. And here is the villain of the piece, if you like, from Celtic's point of view, on the break again. But now Tommy Gemmell to come forward to bind Lennox. Keeps his balance well. Larsson to Wallace, back to Larsson. Oh, his first touch was poor. He miskicked the ball. And the bold decision by Arsene Wenger to play Van Persie instead of Henry. I think Campbell might have just paid off with Dennis Bergkamp, freeing himself to really get in amongst the scorers. Remember, Arsenal going into the game having lost their first match. Celtic should have won their first game, but didn't. They lost a late goal to Adriano, of course, and now they find themselves 2 goals down and really needed some snookers here to get back into this game. Gemmell to Wallace. Good turn by Wallace. And Gemmell again, another free kick. They appeal. Referee doesn't want to know here. And this referee's not winning too many threads here with the Celtic supporters at the moment. But it is a corner. Can something come from this corner? Quarter of an hour gone. Seaman coming for that ball. Didn't get a good positive touch on it. And the ball knocked back in and over the top from Lennox. And that was the big chance Celtic needed. and they didn't take it, Chris.
That's a tough one, to be fair, for Lennox. Volleying is a very difficult technique, and if it had hit the target, he may have caused David Seaman some problems, but to be fair to Seaman, he'd got back on his feet and he was back in position again, quick as a flash. So maybe if it hit the target, he would have got it covered, but we'll never know.
Here's Brady to Youngberg, back to Brady once again, and Bergkamp in the middle on the back flick, and this time Bonner makes the save, and that would have even rubbed it in more salt into the Celtic wound if Bergkamp had scored a cheeky goal like that. Sampson with the throw to Brady. Sampson again. And the ball in from Cliff Bastin is going to be out for a throw to Celtic. It's a word or two about the Bergkamp chance there. We nearly backflicked it past Bonner into net. Good save from the goalkeeper, actually.
It was. Good, very inventive from Bergkamp as well. But as much as I praise him, I'm still a little bit... I'm not very at ease with what he did earlier in the match.
No, I think I can concur in about 60,000 others as well, Chris. I think he should have been off the field. One of the most blatant elbows we've seen for quite some time, and I think the referee will not have won many friends. I don't think he's even won one friend really because of the indecision he made on that decision. And for that reason, you've got to concur with what Chris has just said there. Here's Lennox playing it in. Adams is there first. And really, I mean, we all love a bit of controversy in the game, but we can't. I mean, that is one of the most obvious decisions I have ever seen, and yet the referee, in a good position, does not seem to see fit, and that's a red card. But we'll probably talk more about that at half time when we wrap everything up at the end of this first half. It's Adams to Van Persie. Celtic now just got to rise above everything now and just try and hold themselves back into contention. Might be hard now because Van Persie through from Bergkamp's pass, and he makes it 3-0, and this is a rout for Arsenal because Celtic here are being torn apart by this rapid Arsenal attack. They can break from one end of the field to the other in a split second, and Arsenal making it look so easy. 3-0 they lead, and they're looking as if they're going to be a good bet now, possibly to reach the knockout rounds, Chris. Good finish.
Dare I say Dutch delight. The two Dutchmen up front have caused absolute havoc for Celtic's defence, and well, Van Persie on his left foot in an Arsenal shirt was very clinical when he played for Arsenal. So clinical that he ended up at Manchester United, but we'll ignore that bit. Quite surprised that he hasn't elected to play for Manchester United's legends, but then I don't think he would get in that team, to be fair. So he's elected to play for Arsenal. Whether the Arsenal fans appreciate that or not is another question, but he's certainly doing the business here today.
Well, I think the look on the Arsenal player, the Arsenal fans' faces say I think he's probably made the correct decision. Here's Pires now to Ljungberg, and it's swagger stuff now. Oh, to tell you what, Van Persie then, I thought he was going to pull the trigger. Just Celtic need to get a foothold in this game. They just haven't been at the races. Maybe they've been affected by one or two of the decisions, and maybe they've just forgot about the bigger picture and just trying to play the game. But they've got to keep it at 3 for as long as they possibly can. Try and get the next goal to give themselves half a chance. I think it's going to be so difficult now. Of course, they've got the big frame of David Seaman to try and breach as well, which is not going to be easy.
Yeah, and then the small task of Barcelona the following game.
Indeed, and it could get even worse for them now because that's the fall from Bergkamp, who should have been sent off, as we said 1,000 times. Has just bagged a hat-trick. That's the second hat-trick, of course, in the competition so far, and Dennis Bergkamp is the second person after Didier Drogba, and he's got a hat-trick, and Arsenal now just running riot here at Celtic Park, and Liverpool now earlier on in the week.
Yeah, this is just... it's terrible for Celtic, but this game will always be... There'll always be the he should have been sent off surrounding this game, and it could be so different, but it's not, and I don't think Celtic have got it out of their head that he shouldn't be on the pitch, and they haven't been the same since, well, if we didn't really get a good view of them in the first 4 minutes when that incident happened, but maybe it's affected them mentally. They're just not at the races. They're half an hour. We're not even half an hour in, and they're 4-0 down. Something's got to change.
Well, I did say the onus was on it to keep it at 3. They just couldn't hold on. I have to say Celtic aren't the innocent party in that particular goal, because it was their own bad defending really that contributed to their own downfall there. And they just really need to just get some pride back now. I think the game's probably gone even at this early stage. Johnston to McNair. Now can it get something here? Wallace just can't get it out of his feet. Well, it looks as if the whole firm are going to suffer double trouble. Burnley beat Rangers pretty doggedly the other night, and now tonight Arsenal making Celtic look absolute mugs here on their own turf in front of 60,000 passionate supporters. Well, no, Pat Bonner, to his internal credit, makes a good save to keep it at 4-0. And then there's a foul on the Celtic player by RVP, and a free kick with 33 minutes of the game now gone. Johnston to Wallace. Back to Johnston once again, but well cut out by Kenny Sampson. Passed in. Bergkamp. Sampson again. Every time they seem to move forward, Arsenal, they look more menacing. Bergkamp! Well, he's looking to score 4 in one game, and that's not been done before in this competition. Dennis Bergkamp almost provided it. Again, Arsenal, Chris, every time they go on the attack, they always look like scoring each and every time.
They do. They're just looking so clinical today. It's been Celtic's main problem. As much as Celtic are doing what they can, Arsenal are just in red hot form. And I tell you what, the strike force of Van Persie and Bergkamp is something to behold at the moment.
Indeed. 10 to go to half time. It's all a question of damage limitations, of course. On the Scottish side, it's Perez now turns. Finds Ljungberg. Perez again. Now, can Bobby Lennox get something going here for Celtic? It's 3 against 2. Against Celtic, though, on that occasion. Larson. Sampson. Adams. Past it. Gets it back again this time, and Arsenal now again on the break. It's relentless Arsenal pressure for this first 38 minutes or so we've been playing. Passed in again. Oh, lovely play. Bergkamp. Brady just couldn't keep it in this time. Former Celtic manager, in fact, William Brady. A little side note. Also former Republic of Ireland international colleague of goalkeeper Pat Bonner. 5 minutes just over to go. Larson to Gemmell. Out to play. He goes. And all you can hear in the background here is Arsenal's 3,000 travelling supporters who have come up from London to Glasgow today. And I think a trip from London Euston Station would have been well worth it. Pat Rice with the throw to RVP, Robin Van Persie. Give him his full respectable title. Arsenal's throw. 4 goals clear and certainly coasting now. Brady. Arsenal looking to pull the trigger at every opportunity, and again this time Ljungberg, the man denied by Pat Bonner. Bobby Lennox now, can he get something going for Celtic? Last minute of the first half, can he get on the scoreboard at least? Larson to Ode. Larson again. Well, Jobstein will have them in, fired up at half time, I would have thought, because they cannot lose this sort of canter here They've got to come out and at least win the second half, you would think. They might get something here. Oh, deflection that could have gone anywhere off Pat Rice. But luckily for him, the luck is gone with Arsenal and it's a corner. 2, 4, 5 hoop shirts in the penalty area. Can it pick one of them out? Yes, no, it's wide for Wallace. And that just sums up, Chris, the first half for Celtic in a nutshell there.
They're so close yet so far away. Just they need to find that grit that they had against Inter Milan. It's just so hard for them right now. 2 more minutes. They've got to, well, just keep it to 4 and see what the manager says at half time. I think it will be the tactic at this point.
Indeed, Ray Jockstein, even though he has died in real life some 32 years ago, he's back to manage Celtic in spirit. You'll have to get a good team talk going here to rescue this situation. Ljungberg, and there is the half-time whistle. Well, plenty of incident and plenty of talking points and controversy as well. Arsenal have gone 4 goals clear at half-time. A hat-trick for Dennis Bergkamp, 1 for RVP Robbie Van Persie, but that's not the half of it. Should Dennis Bergkamp, I honestly think, having looked at replays, myself and Chris alongside me, and I'm sure Chris will say something about the incident during his half-time wrap-up here, but should Bergkamp have been sent off for a blatant elbow on one of the Celtic players, it certainly changed the fabric of the game. But at half-time here, there's no doubt in who's on top here at Celtic Park. It's Celtic 0, Arsenal 4, and Chris now to give him his usual half-time roundup.
It's been a disaster for Celtic, I think is the best way to describe it. I mean, the 0 shots on target isn't a stat that is going to be helping them. You don't score without a shot on target, whereas Arsenal have 9 shots on target and got 4 goals to their name. So that's one thing to say. It's not like Celtic haven't created chances. They've had their fair share of the ball. It's fairly even across the park. It's just how clinical Arsenal have been in front of goal that is a major difference. And of course Dennis Bergkamp, who arguably shouldn't be on the pitch. So it'll be interesting to see how the second half goes. If Celtic will go broke, or whether they'll just see that the game's gone and just go through the motions. It'll be interesting to see what the tactics are in the second half.
And I think we are about ready to go. And we have a substitution at half time as well. Arsenal get us away in this second half. Chris, have we got any word on the substitution? I think there has been a substitution, hasn't there, Chris?
Yes, Shinji Nakamura has come on for the right back, I do believe. It's a change in shape. They've gone for 3 at the back, so obviously going all out to score a lot of goals in the second half by the looks of things. Yeah,
which could really leave them to be susceptible on the counter-attack as Nakamura comes in for an early opportunity, but heads over the top of the crossbar. So a positive start, and McBride now comes on for Wallace. So Celtic already within 2 minutes of the second half have already used 2 of their substitutes. So it looks as if they're going to have a right good go here in the second half, with the game probably up for them. They'll still have a go at winning this second half and just trying to limit the damage, certainly in terms of goal difference. And here's Van Persie trying to get the cross in. Will Arsenal stop at 5 and 4, or will they go for a 5th? Here's Lennox now on the break. Arsenal, Celtic rather gone to a back 3 as Chris said. McBride, Johnston, Nakamura, good save, Seaman. Now, it was probably virtually their first shot on target, but David Seaman there really up to the challenge, and he really didn't let Arsenal down when needed. He hasn't had much to do, the big Arsenal goalkeeper, but he's done really well there. Murdoch chipping it in, back to Murdoch, now Larson goes down, no penalty. He was well tackled, in fact. Here's Van Persie again, just holding up the play and just calming things down for Arsenal. Get a throw out of it. That's it to take, short to Perez, back to Van Persie again. Brady, Perez steals in behind, but he's offside. And that's something the officials have actually got right. although he was not far offside.
Tell you what, I think that's probably the only questionable decision I've seen from a linesman for a while.
Well, fine to take the free kick. And I have to say, Celtic now just have got to just win the second half. Doesn't matter if they win it 1-0 or 3-0. Just win the second half and give themselves at least a bit of more respectability in terms of the scoreline. Johnston in behind. Good cross towards the back post. Larson attacks it. And it's hit the side netting. But they're creating opportunities now, Chris, which is a good positive sign. Even though the game might be up for them, they're still going to have a go.
Well, that's two early chances that could have quite easily ended up in goals. If they'd have both come in the back of the net, Arsenal would have been very worried. So I think one of the problems with Celtic, they don't have a lot of height up front in this team. I mean, as much as they're getting the ball in the box, you're trying to get the ball over the heads of Sol Campbell and Tony Adams, who aren't the two smallest people, and you haven't got a very strong front line in terms of aerial presence. Larson is probably their best option, and he's, you know, just under 6 foot, I think. I mean, 178 centimetres, I think, is his official height in this.
Yes, Bastin going forward, but Gemo intercepting.
It's probably exactly 6 foot, to be fair, because that's roughly what 6 foot is.
Yeah, but trying to get change out of Tony Adams and Sol Campbell is one thing, and then when you pass them two, you've got the big frame of David Seaman to contend with, and he's not an easy customer to get past as Van Persie tries the shot. But this time Pat Bonner, who was beaten 4 times within half an hour, he's making some good saves now, and he's keeping Celtic as much as they can at 4-0, and he's performed miracles against all the odds today, Pat Bonner. One has to feel sorry for him, because he's been blameless on all 4 goals, and now he might have some more work to do as Bergkamp shoots, and that's another smart save, and another smart save to deny the rebound from Chris Bastin. Pat Bonner doing himself a bit of justice here in the second half. 2 magnificent saves from the Celtic goalkeeper.
All stemmed from a terrific tackle from Rice. Arsenal very quickly countering, but yeah, some great goalkeeping from Bonner.
There's still plenty of work for the Irishman still to do here, because Arsenal have a corner. Chalmers has replaced Larson, so Larson is gone as that corner comes in, and Bastin off the line. Perez with a shot back in, and he's there, number 5, and that's probably the best of the lot, and that sums up Arsenal's performance in a nutshell, and it sums up the miserable night for Celtic.
Well, this is quite easily the best goal of the night. Tell you what, just goes better with each angle you get. Perez wasn't exactly shy of a fantastic shot from long range, but that is out of the top drawer. Look at that. I think he's destined for the top corner.
Yeah, it's one of the goals of the tournament, I think, bar none, Chris. I think that is a superb strike. Take nothing away from Perez, and that just really, well, if Celtic had any hope of winning at least the second half, well, that's taken a huge setback now because of that. It was just unstoppable, the shot, and Celtic thought they'd done the hard part by heading off the line from the corner. Yeah, even the brilliant Pat Bonner could have saved that one. Again, no blame attached to the goalkeeper whatsoever. 5-0 Arsenal lead, and they could be eclipsing Liverpool here in terms of scoring in one game. The shot deflects again wide, another corner to Arsenal, and this is not getting any easier for Celtic here, I have to say. So, can they defend this corner a bit more better than what they did the last one? Bergkamp still looking for his 4th goal of the game. Brady with a corner, and he's going to go short here to Chris Bastin, I think. 3rd corner for Arsenal, incidentally. Perez, will he have another go? Now, we showed too much of that to Murdoch this time. McBride's in there. Chalmers was still forward as well. Bergkamp laid in towards Van Persie. ever since that controversial moment when Bergkamp elbowed one of the Celtic lads. Celtic have not got over that decision, and it's been really evident. And apart from 10-minute period in the second half, they just haven't turned up at all. Bergkamp's flick. McBride to Chalmers. Rice wins the ball off Chalmers. Feeds Van Persie back again to Bergkamp, and now Ljungberg. First time cross from the sweep. Van Persie, good save. Well, that has kept Celtic at 5-0 down. If it wasn't for Bono, it would have been a cricket score. Here's Van Persie. Nakamura now to get it away for Celtic. It's all Keystone Cops at the moment. They've got away with it, Celtic. McBride. Chalmers. McBride. Good run in here. McBride deflected on the shot. Takes it wide for a corner. Good positive play by the substitutes. Linking up really well. Got a nick there of Tommy Adams for a corner. Hold to take the corner. Parler's come on for Ljungberg. Hold delivers. Seaman fists. Lennox to Murdoch. Lennox, good try, good save. And Seaman right behind the shot there. And I've got a feeling that the Man of the Match award is going to go to one of the men in red and white rather than the green and white hoops, I'm afraid. Because it's been one-way traffic throughout this game. Sampson to Bastin. This is really good football. And Van Persie, well denied again. Not for the first time tonight by Pat Bonner, who, despite being beaten 5 times, and it's a big call on him to be beaten 5 times, has made another good save.
He's probably really the only Celtic player that's turned up today.
And we concur with that one, I have to say, because at the end of the day, it's just been one-way traffic throughout. Even despite the ridiculous nature of the elbow by Bergkamp, we've got to say Arsenal have been far superior. If you took even that, even if Bergkamp had been sent off, I think Arsenal would have still run out clear winners. McNeil. Al Murdoch. Johnston. Away by Sol Campbell. Murdoch again. Chips it forward. A bit too strongly, I'm afraid, for Nakamura, who couldn't get there. Goal kick. "18 minutes left of this contest to go, and that just proves how dominant Arsenal have been. 21 shots in total at goal. It just shows how well they've played Arsenal tonight. But here's McBride. He's lost out, but he's conceded a free kick here. Perez. A little harshly, I have to say. That looked another poor decision by the official. At least he's consistently bad. Johnston! Demon doing well. Nice to Perez. Paul continuing the run. This time the ball not back to Paki Bonner. Paki's his nickname. And that's spelled P-A-K-E-I-E. As Liam Brady comes on to be replaced by Pat Vieira. Bonner, who I've just told everyone his nickname now. B-A-C-K-I-E. And it's not a racist term, his nickname. Just to remedy anybody that might get in touch with us and say that we're racist as well. But that's a nickname that's been afforded to him from Jack Charlton back in those days. But here's a chance for Celtic. Ball played back in, Seaman out of his ground. And there was just one moment there that Celtic might have had a little bit of respectability to things. Dolmack with Lennox. Nakamura, lovely flick round the corner, but to no avail. 10 minutes to go. Bergkamp. Van Persie. Holders lost it. Van Persie. Stopped again, this time by Fallon. Chalmers. Lennox won't keep that in play. Well, I think the result's not in doubt, Chris. I know it's probably going to be a bit early for you to select your man in the match, but I think we'll select it now because I think it's all. We all know what's going to happen now anyway. Arsenal are going to win. So let me ask you in choosing your man in the match now with about 6 minutes left to play.
Well, I think Pat Bonner's a contender, but it would be a bit harsh to Arsenal if we weren't to give one of their players man of the match based on how well they've performed. But I'm going to go with one of the two Dutchmen. It's going to be Robin van Persie. I think today he's been very effective. He's created a lot of chances, scored a goal himself. He's done a lot of work in terms of the creativity of the team today. Normally he's used for his goal scoring as
almost a penalty shout. And then Bergkamp almost in his fourth goal. Carry on.
I'm sure the sponsors or whoever will probably give it to Dennis Bergkamp, but the action at the start of the game makes him exempt from being selected. Oh my, that was a very close header. But yes, I'm going to go for Robin van Persie. He's been a credit to his side and done a lot of hard work for Arsenal today.
I won't argue with that. And purely and simply, I'm so glad you didn't pick Dennis Bergkamp. That would have caused a lot of uproar in Scotland if he'd. I don't think we'd have got out of Glasgow alive. He'd have selected Bergkamp tonight, I have to say. Johnston. It's a throw. Another free kick. Well, with 2.5 minutes left to go, it really puts Arsenal back in this tournament, and it's given them lift off in this tournament. Bit unlucky to lose the first match, I have to say, to Barcelona, but they were playing Barcelona, and they're a different kettle of fish, really. So this was really a game that they had to get up for, and they were, and they've really taken advantage pretty well. Even if Bergkamp got away. Oh, another. I have to say that was another dodgy little challenge there from Arsenal. But I have to say they've got the benefit of the refereeing decisions, and the referee, I'm surprised if he makes it out of Glasgow alive. I will give him a medal, because quite honestly he's upset quite a number of the locals here tonight, probably all 60,000 of them, for failing to send off Dennis Bergkamp at 1-0 down, 1-0 to Arsenal, and that could have really changed the dynamics of the match. Vieira, and the corner it went. Although Celtic will not lose heart, they're still going to be a good couple of points behind, but the fate is out of their own hands. Van Persie, and that just summed it all up, and the man of the match gets his second, and Arsenal now have 6. And their goal difference here is getting far superior, and it's going to be so tough for the likes of Inter and Celtic now to really come back from this, because Arsenal here are making a mockery of Celtic, and maybe Celtic, I'm so sorry to say, could well be tumbling out of this competition because of their inferior goal difference. 6-0 they lead, Arsenal, and Van Persie, good strike, Chris.
Very good goal from the best performer of the night, I think. For across the 90 minutes, I think he's well deserving of man of the match. I mean, the thing about Arsenal, obviously they've got to play Inter Milan next. Celtic have got to play Barcelona, so it's looking rather dire for Celtic right now.
There goes the final whistle.
David Seaman getting a clean sheet as well. That's a rare thing in the tournament.
Indeed. Well, 6-0. David Seaman, in fairness, didn't have to do too much. He made a couple of smart saves, but the hero for Celtic really was Pat Bonner, and he didn't deserve 6 put past him, I have to say, in all fairness. But 3 goals for Bergkamp, 2 goals for Robin Van Persie, and 1 for Robert Pires were the difference. But Dennis Bergkamp could and should maybe have been sent off just after he put Arsenal ahead after 3 minutes, after he beat Bonner at the near post, and then a few moments later he blatantly elbowed one of the Celtic players. And if the referee had been astute enough, and I don't think he was astute enough on the night to have seen that, then it could have easily been a red card. But in beginning all of that, Arsenal were just too good for their opponents tonight, and have kick-started their tournament in real style here, bouncing back from a harsh defeat to Barcelona last week, and a win, and a 6-goal win and a clean sheet can't be too bad. Chris, your verdict finally on what happened here tonight.
Well, sadly, we've had the most one-sided match of the tournament so far. We thought Liverpool were quite dominant in their win earlier in the tournament, but this one, it was a no contest. Unfortunately, it was just the way the game started. Obviously, with the foray over Dennis Bergkamp, it was just tough on Celtic, and they've got a real mountain to climb. They're not out of the tournament. Don't get me wrong. If they pull out some kind of miracle against Barcelona, they stand a chance of going through, but their inferior goal difference is essentially getting rid of a point. But they have the advantage in the sense that this Arsenal side they'll be brimming with confidence, but they've got to play Inter Milan, who will be very, very desperate against Arsenal. So they've got a tough game coming up next. If Arsenal do them a favour, perhaps, or they may stand a chance of getting through, and if they can. But it's so tough because Barcelona have already got 6 points. They're already through. That might be a saving grace. But they've got their work cut out. They've basically got to hope for some kind of miracle here, because if they, I don't even know if it's possible for them to get through. Actually, thinking about it, I don't know how the points are going to work out here. If I think off the top of my head, Inter Milan are on 1. So if they beat Arsenal, they'll end up at 4. If they draw, they'll end up on 2, and that'll put Arsenal on 4. So Celtic, I think, are actually out. Come to think of it. Trying to think.
Right.
Oh no, Arsenal are on 3, aren't they? Arsenal are on 3. They lost their first game, so.
Yeah, indeed.
Celtic got a point. So yeah, they do still stand a chance of going through. We'll bring up the group stages in a minute after this game, because all the matches have been played, and we can bring the group stages up. And I'll show it at the end of the video once we finish off here. But the stats, they don't lie, do they? The shots, the amount, the Pat Bonner faced a barrage, and the thing is, the shots on target as well. 18 shots on target in a match. I mean, Pat Bonner had his work cut out, and for it to only finish 6-0, Pat Bonner making at least, he made 9 saves. It was a rather incredible performance from Arsenal. They were very deserving based on their performance, but there's a lot of talk about what happened with Dennis Bergkamp, and I'm sure the people in charge of the tournament will probably take a close look at what happened there. There might be some retrospective action, you never know.
Well, thank you very much for the moment. Anyway, Chris, he's got to hop back to the studio to bring us up to date with all the updated statistics from after all the second match days. But let me sum things up really by saying it was a 6-star Arsenal performance. They played Celtic off the park. Yes, the Bergkamp sending off should have happened, and the referee should be blamed for that. And I think the referee shouldn't be blameless in all of this, really. He made some poor decisions, but let's not detract from the way Arsenal performed tonight. They were ruthless, they were superb, attacking wise, they were every bit as good as the Liverpool game did at Anfield the other week, and they certainly now have given themselves a real chance of qualification. Not over for Celtic yet. They've just got to beat Barcelona to stand themselves any chance, and we know how difficult that might be. But for the moment anyway, from me anyway, it's goodbye. But we're going to hand you over to Chris now, who's going to take you through the league tables and the statistics and the goal scorers and all the assists. So it's over to you, Chris.
So with match day 2 of the group stage done, this is what the fixtures looked like at the end of it. Obviously in the first group, Group A, Liverpool won against Sao Paulo by 6 goals to 2, whereas Dortmund and Ajax finished 1 apiece. Then in Group B, we had Real Madrid thrashing Boca Juniors 4-0, and then Manchester United drawing 0-0 with Paris Saint-Germain. Juventus and Chelsea played out a classic in Group C, finishing 4-3 on that occasion, with Benfica and Bayern Munich drawing in their fixture. Group D, AC Milan and Santos had a good old ding-dong, but AC Milan came out on top. And then Rangers and Burnley, with the first battle of Britain, played out a classic at Ibrox to round off Group D. Then in Group E, obviously we recently saw Barcelona and Inter play out the classic 2-1 at the Nou Camp, and we just witnessed Arsenal's 6-0 demolition of Celtic in Scotland, with the controversy surrounding Dennis Bergkamp, who is under investigation for violent conduct. Anyway, Group 1, it's not letters, it's numbers, but Group 1, Liverpool lead the way, 6 points from 6. And a goal difference of +6 as well, scoring 10 goals along the way. Sao Paulo sit in second place with 3 points, with 1 victory and a defeat to their name. Dortmund and Ajax, of course, both lost a game and they drew against one another, so they find themselves in 3rd and 4th. So Liverpool favourites to go through there. Second place still up for grabs though between 3 teams. It'll be an interesting final day in Group 1. In Group 2, it's anyone's game. Manchester United could realistically finish top with a victory. Anyone can finish top, anyone can finish second. So it really is up for grabs. PSG lead the way just about. Real Madrid and Boca Juniors sit in 2nd and 3rd, separated only on goal difference, and then Manchester United bottom. Could be a shock early exit for Manchester United. Of course, some of the best third-place teams will also go through to the next round, so that's something to keep an eye on. Group 3, Bayern Munich. Also, Group 3 is up for grabs as well. Bayern Munich leading the way with 4 points, undefeated. Chelsea and Juventus both on 3 points apiece, and Benfica really struggling down there with just 1 point. But again, anyone in that group can finish 1st or 2nd, and the best third-place finish may also go through. Group 4, AC Milan lead the way with 6 points from 6. Burnley and Rangers both level on 3 points apiece, and Pelé Santos, bottom with no points. But second place is up for grabs. AC Milan, you would think, are secure to go through, barring any major accidents. They've got that 3-goal cushion in terms of the goal difference as well. So AC Milan, realistically, the favourites to go through there for definite. And then the final group, Group 5, Barcelona obviously leading the way, 6 points from 6. Arsenal in second place on 3 points. They've got a 2-point cushion over both Inter and Celtic. Celtic really up against it with their goal difference, but again, anyone could claim second place, apart from Barcelona, of course, who realistically are probably progressing through to the knockout stage as well. But that's going to do it for all the games this match day of the Konami Legends Trophy. Match day 3 comes around, and that's when it comes to the business end. Teams will fall, teams will progress. Who will go through and who will be eliminated? There's only one way to find out, and that's to join us for the next episode. Thank you so much for joining us, and we shall see you very soon for match day 3 of the Konami Legends Trophy. Until then, bye-bye.